and ecclesia. The Potter's House International Ministry is modeling ministry in the 21st century. A local church should be engaged in repairing the breaches of its community and restoring the waste places and paths for people to dwell. The Potter's House has done just that, revitalizing one of the most crime-ridden communities in the city of Jacksonville. This local church has been called a marketplace wonder. The ministry believes that there is no distinction between the local church and the marketplace. The ministry has a mandate to meet the social, economical, educational, and spiritual felt needs of all that it comes in contact with. Feeding and clothing and caring for tens of thousands of the poor and needy each year with a volunteer workforce of thousands. The ministry also employs over 250 full-time employees, where over 30% are ex-felons and considered unemployable. The local church operates a fully accredited academy, kindergarten to high school, equipping young people with a Christian worldview to impact future generations in government, business, and in education. The marketplace has been defined as all activity and life outside of the four walls of the place of worship. Jesus did not say, "I'll see you in a building on Sunday." He did say, "Occupy till I come." Occupy means to barter, to trade, to bank. The ministry owns and operates an entire shopping mall, the Kingdom Plaza Mall, creating revenue to establish God's covenant in the earth. This is not a job for religion, tradition, neither for the faint in heart. This is a job for an ecclesia. You know, many of you probably come from churches where you're hoping that your pastor will get the revelation. You've got it, you've caught the fever, and you're hoping that you can go back and implement some of the things that you're learning here. Sometimes it's kind of difficult because of the mindset of your spiritual leadership at home. I'm a local church pastor who's also the CEO of a CDC and Kingdom Plaza Mall and some other entities. My own personal journey has shaped the ministry that I lead and the way we function as a local church, and you got to hear this. At the age of 26 years old, I had never attended a worship service before in my life. I went once when I was 17, smoked weed in the church bathroom, sat on the front row and dared the preacher to say something to me while I took a Sunday siesta. When I got saved, I was like Macaulay Culkin. You remember him? I was home alone. I was sitting in my house with a glass of Jack Daniels in one hand and weed in the other, and Prince singing "Tonight I'm a Party" like it's 1999. I said, "God, if you're real, save me." And God saved me. I didn't have a Bible, didn't know where to find one, so I stole a Bible. Literally stole a Bible. And then I read it twice before I ever attended a worship service. I started from the beginning, and before I got to the Gospels to see these transformation principles are there throughout the text, I read Genesis first. I started from left to right. And I read Genesis 1:26, and God said, "Let us make man in our own image and after our own likeness, and let them have dominion." So I'm finding, hey, I'm to be fruitful and multiply, to replenish, to subdue, and to take dominion. And so I said, hey, I just found the reason for my existence. I was living a life, I was doing well, six-figure job, operations manager for the world's largest railroad. God saved me, walked off that job. 3 months after my conversion. The first time I took the Lord's Supper, I was the pastor serving it. The first funeral I ever attended, I preached it. The first wedding I ever went to, I performed it. I discovered how I'm supposed to be living this life that I've been given. So having never been a part of traditional church, didn't have the baggage of tradition or religious vain activity or any institutional control, I had nothing to unlearn and didn't confer with the status quo. I just had Jesus as my model of ministry. And Acts 10:38 says how that God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with power, and he went about doing good, healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. So Jesus became my model. Well, eventually God commissioned me to pastor a local church. 3 years after my conversion, he led me to a prayer tower at Oral Roberts University. I had heard about all of the wonderful vision that people had received there. I climbed the stairs for 3 straight days with a legal pad and a pen, and I wrote what God told me to write. He gave me a 4-step plan: your social empowerment, educational empowerment, economic empowerment, and by the way, spiritual empowerment. Nobody wants to know how much you know until they know how much you care. So it wasn't preaching to them first, it was meeting their felt needs and then letting them know why I had showed up to meet those needs. So when I returned from Tulsa, about 14 of us went into an abandoned area of the city. Here's where it gets good. It was actually a trailer park. And you had to have a road map and a compass to find it. And it was there that we started a local church, what we know today as the Potter's House. I began equipping that 14 to 24, and they began to multiply. I was equipping them for the work of the ministry with the vision that God had given me to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the jails and the prisons, the nursing homes, the hospitals, take care of the widows and the orphans, the outcasts, the disenfranchised. Just be the body of Christ. Just be the church. We never went to church. We never had church. We were always the church. So with that mentality and discipling them, we built from there and began equipping more and more. And in 6 months, the front page of our newspaper read, Jacksonville has a new full-service church. They called us the full-service church. Why? We were offering free lawn service, free haircuts, free auto repair, free moving services, food and clothing out of the trunk of our car, just in the front of the building, just set up out there as people walked by. We walked the interstate. A lot of transits were coming by. We didn't have much. We had very little, but what we had, give I to thee. In the name of Jesus, we gave you what we had. We grew to over 1,000 people in our first year. And in our first year, to the exponential growth, we needed a larger sheep shed. And that's what I call the local church, a sheep shed. It's just an opportunity for the sheep to come in to be fed. So we were sent from that community, even into an even worse community. And we went in there, and it was known for racial divide, prostitution, 3rd highest in the city, violent crime, 2nd highest in the city, drug deals, all of these different things. Even the people in the community, and please excuse my language here just for a second, we're not streaming live. They took gold paint in this racially divided community and in 6-foot letters wrote on the side of the building we had just purchased to try to build a local church, "Niggers go home." So they wrote it on the side of the building. All of the media came. Everybody showed up. By the time the media got there, we had covered the letters on the building and it just had home. And so, Well, why is this significant? Why do you need to know this, right? The Bible said that when you repair the waste places and pass for people to dwell in, then shall they call you the ministers of your God. Amen. So we went from go home to we are the ministers of God. Why? We began to do things in that community that enhanced the life of that community and met the felt needs of the people that really didn't want us to be there. Matthew 25 became our life verse and our modus operandi. That was the social mandate, remember? We opened up a business incubator, had our first mall. That was that economic mandate. We started a fully accredited academy. That's the educational movement. Then we kept making disciples and discipling the community. That was our spiritual mandate. We even started, listen, our own bank. We're talking about a group of blue-collar folk. My wife and I have always been the largest givers in our church since we started, and we get paid by the church. So that ought to tell you something. We started our own fully accredited credit union, NCUA, FDIC, the only state-owned and operated federal credit union in the state of Florida. We were financing our home, teaching people investment, 401, 403, how to do what we had to do. We kept growing and we kept needing property, so we kept buying property. And in 2003, we purchased a 400,000 square foot, 48-acre piece of property that was scheduled for demolition because it was literally the largest crack house in town. It's today home for a 4,000-seat auditorium, 1,000-seat children's church, offices, and this and that, but it's the epicenter of the entire West Side. Literally tens of thousands of people coming to that mall weekly that would never step foot in our worship services. They keep coming. We have a 3,500 member fitness center, 22-lane bowling alley with a huge game room, the #1 restaurant in town with the #1 food truck in town. We cater to NFL, Jaguar football games. The owners box at the games. We cater the TPC, the Tournament Players Championship, every year, the golf classic. Many come from all over to the other entities because here's what they say has been recorded. They can feel the presence of God in and through the lives of the people that serve them when they enter these venues. Food distribution center we are for the city. We're not just a food distribution center where we take care of the needy around us, but we supply the food, clothing, furnishing for other entities, other nonprofits, other churches in the community. They come to our hub and we go right from there. A mobile health truck that does mammograms, health care, all these different things. We offer free marriage counseling for the community, not just the local church. And as CEO of Kingdom Plaza Mall, I'm a pastor. I won Entrepreneur of the Year in the state of Florida, and I'm a pastor. I still walk the streets and witness and ride the city bus to personally witness to the poor and the needy, and I'm the pastor. I'm a part of the police first responders for black-on-black crime and murder and violent crime in the community, and I'm the pastor. So you can pastor, and you can operate in the marketplace. You can operate in education and government and be involved in social justice. If you just heard Ken Maddox and all the things that they're doing in Anniston, you know, me squeezing the port into the pint, could have videos, stuff, but when you heard that, that should have been motivation for anybody out here who questions whether or not you can be an effective pulpiteer and still be engaged in the transformation of your community, your region, your state, the United States, and even the world.
Yes.
So now we've been able to grow up business owners from our ministry. We have ex-felons. You heard the commercial, 250 full-time employees, benefits, retirement. 30% are ex-felons, unhireable, who are now accomplished, who have GEDs, education, been tenured there. Some have gone on to greater jobs and doing other things because they were able to build a reputation, being gainfully employed. We do GED programs, all kinds of stuff, and business centers, have a seminary, Bible school. Our school is SACS accredited, Middle States accredited, TRACS accredited. We're putting kids in some of the major universities around the country, and we're giving them a biblical worldview where they go and don't lose their faith when they run into a philosopher or they run into some educator who says that God's not real and that the Bible is just another book, a fictitious book that you just put on the shelf with everything else. We believe that God is raising up people who are fearless, who understand their original mandate was to be fruitful and to multiply, to replenish, to subdue, and to have dominion, who understand that we are to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the jails, the prisons, the nursing homes, the hospitals, take care of the widows and the orphans, the outcasts, the disenfranchised, the needy, them that are whole don't need a physician, but them that are sick. He came to seek and to save that which is lost, and transformation is not coming. Transformation has come in the person of the Lord Jesus Christ, who has said that the Spirit of the Lord is upon you, and that same Spirit is upon you. The same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives in you and quickens your mortal body, and there's nothing that you cannot do if you can believe God, have a mandate for what you got to do, have a plan, and God will work it out for you. I need somebody to throw your head back, reach way down, and shout, glory! 15 minutes, I'm done. Folks, I rest my case.